My name's Olivia, and I still don't know if what happened to me was a dream, a trap, or a hallucination, maybe all three. What I do know is that if you ever get invited to a private island party by a guy who seems too nice, don't go. It started with spring break, of course. I was in my junior year at a college in Georgia, and after 2 straight semesters of heavy coursework and pre-med labs, I just wanted to get out of town. Somewhere warm, somewhere that made me forget how much I hated my life at the moment. My best friend Tasha suggested the Bahamas. Flights were cheap, and she knew a girl who owned a timeshare in Nassau that was empty that week. We were a group of 4. Me, Tasha, our quiet friend Madison, and Bree, who we barely knew but tagged along because she was friends with Tasha's cousin. We got there on a Tuesday. The air was hot and heavy with salt and sweat. The timeshare wasn't beachfront or fancy, but it had a working shower and a balcony. That night, we went out to a beach bar that was packed with college students from all over. Some from the States, some from Canada, some maybe even locals. It was chaotic and loud, the way spring break bars always are, with cheap rum punches and dance hall music that made the sand vibrate beneath your feet. And that's when I met Aaron. Tall, blonde, barefoot. He had this breezy, confident vibe, like someone who always knew people were watching him. He wasn't pushy or sleazy, which honestly made him stand out. He bought me a drink, didn't make a move, and mostly just talked about the island, about how he'd been coming here for years, about his godfather, who apparently owned a private island just 15 minutes away by boat. "You girls should come," he said. "This Saturday, my buddy's throwing a party. Way better than these cramped tourist bars. Big open house right on the ocean. Pool, DJ, free drinks, no creeps. Just us and a couple of friends." He flashed a white smile. Tasha was already nodding. Looking back, I should have questioned more. Why us? Why was he inviting 4 random girls he'd just met? But back then, the idea of a private island party sounded like a dream. I told myself it was just networking or lucky chance. He gave me a number to text for the boat details. Said we'd be picked up at a private dock near the edge of the island. Told us to pack light, bring swimsuits, maybe a change of clothes for evening. "You'll love it," he promised, then added, "and don't be late. The tide makes it hard to get back after dark." That should have been red flag number 1. Saturday came. We wore our best swimsuits under casual cover-ups and packed a small beach bag each. When we got to the dock, a man in a collared shirt and boat shoes greeted us. He wasn't Aaron, but said Aaron was already on the island setting things up. "You ladies ready for paradise?" he joked and helped us onto the boat. The ride took about 20 minutes, not 15. The sun was bright and the boat cut through aquamarine waters, so clear you could see fish darting beneath the surface. I almost forgot to be nervous, but then we saw the island. It wasn't big, probably just a few acres, but it was beautiful. Palm trees swayed above a clean white beach. In the center, nestled among the trees, was a sprawling modern house with huge glass windows and what looked like an infinity pool out back. It was all so perfect, it almost felt fake. We were the only ones on the boat, and when we stepped onto the dock, there were no signs of other guests, no music, no voices. Just the sound of waves and birds and the distant hum of the boat pulling away. "This is the place?" Bree asked, glancing around. Before we could debate, A man came out of the house. It wasn't Aaron. It was someone older, maybe mid-30s. He was attractive in a magazine model kind of way, with sharp features and perfect posture. He smiled like he'd been waiting for us. "Welcome," he said smoothly. "I'm Darren. Aaron's inside, getting drinks ready. Come on up." Tasha led the way. Madison hesitated, but I tugged her arm. "We're already here," I whispered. "It's probably fine." Inside, the house was stunning. Marble floors, minimalist furniture. The back wall opened onto the ocean like something out of Architectural Digest. Aaron came out of the kitchen, holding a tray of cocktails, pink, icy, and garnished with mint. "You made it," he said. "Try the hibiscus daiquiris. They're insane." We took the drinks. I only drank half, and maybe that's the only reason I got out. After 15 minutes, Bree started acting weird. She kept blinking, like her vision was going in and out, and asked if she could lie down. Aaron told us she probably had a bit too much sun. "Rooms upstairs," he said. "Pick anyone. This place is huge." Tasha went with Bree. Madison sat on the couch and just stared out the window. I felt a pressure building behind my eyes, like a migraine, but heavy and hot. Something was wrong. I set my drink down and walked toward the bathroom, then paused in the hallway. There were no family photos, no clutter, no books. It was sterile, like no one actually lived there. That's when I saw Darren again. He was coming out of a room, whispering something into a phone. When he saw me, he smiled again, but it didn't reach his eyes this time. "Feeling okay?" he asked. I nodded, but my pulse was racing. "Where are the others?" I asked. He tilted his head. "Upstairs." I turned and bolted, up the staircase, calling for Tasha and Bree. No answer. I opened a door and found an empty room. Then another. Then I opened the third room and froze. Bree was on the bed, fully clothed, but limp. Her arm dangled off the side. Tasha was on the floor, trying to lift herself, but barely conscious. Her mouth was moving, but no words came out. That's when I heard the footsteps behind me. I didn't look. I just ran. I sprinted down the stairs and out the back door, straight through the open patio and into the trees. I heard someone shout, maybe Aaron, maybe Darren. I didn't care. I just kept running until the house disappeared behind palms and ferns. I reached the far edge of the island where there was nothing but rocks and water. No boats, no phone signal. Just the horizon and the crashing surf. I thought I was trapped. Until I saw it. A small weathered kayak half buried behind a bush, probably used by maintenance staff or locals. I dragged it out, shoved it into the water, and paddled with my bare hands. My arms burned. My head throbbed. But I didn't stop until I saw a small fishing boat far in the distance. I screamed, waved, screamed again. They saw me. I told the local police. They brought me to a station where I filed a report. By the time they got to the island, the house was empty. No sign of Darren, no Aaron, no Tasha, no Bree, no Madison, not even a trace. No evidence of the party. No drinks. No personal belongings. It was like the house had never been used. The house itself, still owned by a shell company registered in Belize. No way to trace it. No way to press charges. The officer gently told me these kinds of things happen sometimes. Tourists go missing, boats capsize, people party too hard and disappear. I flew home the next morning. I never saw my friends again. But sometimes, when I close my eyes, I still see Aaron smile. And I wonder if he's smiling at someone else now.